And here we are, lifting our hands to you. Here we are.
Okay, welcome to Cypher Tutorial. My name is Yusuf Zakaria. Today we are going to discuss about queuing. What is queue? Queue is the linear data structure where insertion and deletion are performed at a separate end. First of all, let's understand what is data structure. Data structure means arrange data in a particular format. Therefore, linear data structure means data elements are arranged in linear form, one after another. Queue is termed as FIFO, first in, first out. It means what is in queued first is what the queued first. For example, people waiting at the counter, the first person, the first being served. Therefore, in queue, session is performed at the rear, while the queue deletion is performed at the front. Now let us discuss how insertion is performed in queue. At the beginning, both front and rear counter point at the first index of the array. Therefore, when elements are added in queue, counter rear keeps on moving ahead pointing to the position where next element will be inserted, while counter front remains pointing to the first index. It means when the element is added in the first index, the counter rear increments and now point to the next index, and therefore we keep doing so until the queue is full. Then let's now discuss how deletion is performed. As we have said, queue implements FIFO. First in is the first out. Therefore, we come to the conclusion that deletion are performed at the front end. What changed now is the front counter. When the element in the first index is deleted, then the front counter shifts to point to the second index. But before doing insertion or deletion, we have to check the queue overflow and the underflow condition. Queue overflow results from trying to add elements into a full queue. For example, if we have a queue size n, then the queue is full if we have n minus 1 item in it. Simply we say, if real is equal to n minus 1, then the queue is full. Therefore, if we try to add element into a queue with this condition, overflow L occur. Now, what is queue underflow? Queue underflow results from trying to remove an element from an empty queue. Simply we say, if front is equal to real and real is equal to 0, then queue is empty. Therefore, when you try to remove an element from the empty queue, then underflow error occur. Now let's discuss where do we apply queue. Queue provides service in computer science, operation researches, where data, objects, and events are stored and held to be processed later. These are just two examples, but there are many examples where queue is implemented. Now let's discuss how we implement queue using array in C++. First of all, we declare our array with a certain size. Then we declare our counter, front counter, and rear counter. Initialize 0 index to both rear and front counter. This is because initial, rear, and head counter point at the first index. Now, how do we do insertion? As we have said, insertion is performed at the rear. Therefore, write a while loop with condition real is less than array size. If this condition is met, then insertion is done. After then, real is incremented by 1. Now then, how the queue is performed. First of all, let us test if the queue is not empty? Simply by just saying if real is not equal to front, then do deletion by just incrementing the front to point to the second index. Else, if real is equal to front, then the queue is empty. So we cannot do the queue in empty queue. Thank you. Next tutorial we will discuss how to implement queue using linked list in C++. Have a nice moment.